Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle and this is a word of caution regarding watching pick a card love readings. So while there is nothing inherently wrong with wanting to know where you stand with the love interest on your mind, the reason why you're wanting to know where you stand with them matters greatly, as it can greatly impact your mental and emotional well-being. So a very good question to ask yourself when it comes to why you're watching pick a card love readings is, am I simply curious or am I actually clinging? Holding on to hope isn't always a good thing, especially if it's keeping you stuck in limerence or in codependence. The last thing I want to do is to enable limerence and codependence with the content that I create. I want to help you create a life in which you're truly thriving, not keep you stuck in survival mode. And I know how it all works because I've been there. So this is where grace, knowledge, understanding, and compassion come in. It's okay if the only way you're able to self-soothe in this moment is by way of participating in coping mechanisms, distractions, and the like. As long as you're also doing yourself a favor by learning how to heal the wounding that has been fueling any limerence and or codependent patterns that you might have. My promise to you is that as you heal the wounding, your dependency on your SP, which means specific person, aka the person on your mind, or your ex, will begin to dissolve naturally, to the point where you're not even curious about what they're thinking and how they're feeling about you anymore. I know this to be true from personal experience. When you're ready to start healing the wounding, I have some amazing resources to get you going. My personal recommendation is to start with 2 videos, how to stop manifesting separation, and then the other one is called Releasing the Wants. Both videos will be linked in the description box below. My heart is always with you guys, and with that I bid you more happy viewing. Love, Michelle. Pile 1, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Michelle. We're back doing another pick a card love reading. We are channeling your person's thoughts and feelings towards you and towards the connection. Let me make sure that I didn't mess up the thing here. Okay, awesome. Yeah, we're channeling your person's thoughts and feelings towards you and the connection at this time. Finding out basically where you stand with them. All right, so just keep in mind, you guys, it's a general reading. Anything that resonates, take it, run with it. If something isn't resonating, then just drop it, leave it behind for whomever it might resonate for. I do have personal readings available if you would like for me to tap exclusively into the energy of you and your person's connection. All of the booking details are in the description box below. There's a lot of $25 readings available in the specific person category, so go check them out. All right, let's see. You guys were drawn to the very beautiful and very gemmy amethyst here. And I will tell you guys that when I was getting your guys' pre-pulls out, like pre-shuffling these cards right here, this crystal, well, not this specific crystal, but amethyst, purple overall was definitely coming through for this pile. Wanting, you know, either purple, it was amethyst. Amethyst was coming through wanting to represent this pile. So there might be some influence here about maybe self-sabotage, maybe addiction, limiting, what do they call it? Self-limiting beliefs in something that might be influencing or having some kind of an impact on this connection. Okay, coming from your person possibly, but we'll see, okay, because this was coming through very loud and clear. Amethyst for this as representing this pile. All right, so before I turn those over, I do want to get one, see what your person's overall mood is towards you guys in this connection. Pile 1's person, what is your overall mood towards pile 1 and the connection at this time? Pile 1's person, your overall mood. All right. Ashamed. Okay, now I can see why amethyst was coming through. Okay, your person's not, we'll find out. Your person's not feeling very confident. This could be in reference to something they're doing, something that they've done. They might be feeling guilty about something. Let's find out what the other cards here are representing. You deserve love. All right. And this is your person's energy towards you. They're saying, pile one, that you deserve love and you are lovable. Let's find out what else is going on here. The Hermit. Okay, so there's probably not any communication. This may be a connection that's in no contact. You may not be hearing from your person very much at this point in time, and this is why, okay? And we'll find out. We'll get to the bottom of why your person might be feeling ashamed if it's not coming out in the main spread, but we'll figure out what's going on. But pile one, if you're not hearing from your person, if they've gone MIA, they're feeling ashamed and they're feeling guilty about something. Here's trust. We'll find out. Let's see. I'm going to put the Hermit over here. Let's get to the bottom of what's going on with your person. Why are they feeling ashamed? There's definitely some energies, pile one, of your person doing some kind of self-reflection right now. You know, ashamed does make sense for those of you where you know that maybe your person might be active in some kind of an addiction. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. For those of you where your person's not active in some kind of an addiction like alcoholism, you know, substance abuse or something like that, I'm hearing self-defeat. There's a lot of self-defeating energies that your person is dealing with right now. And of course, regardless of whether or not those self-defeating, self-limiting beliefs are manifesting in your person's life as addiction in whatever form that might take, even though, you know, it could just be, you know, self-defeat and self-limiting beliefs can, self-sabotage can manifest in many different ways, but it's manifesting in your person's life right now where they're feeling ashamed about it. They're feeling ashamed, right? That's, but this is their energy. I could say it is towards you, but this is just an overall energy as well, you know. I'll do one more shuffle. We're going to get your person's thoughts and feelings towards you specifically and towards this connection, and then we'll figure out what's going on with some of these underlying energies over here. They are saying, pile one, they're not wanting you to take any of this personally. There's no regrets, huh? I'm hearing to get that off the board. No, I'm going to keep it off to the side, you guys, because it came out for a reason. Pile one's person, your thoughts and feelings towards pile one specifically, please. Pile one's person. Tell pile one what it is you're thinking and feeling towards them at this point in time, please, right now. This is a lot that came out. All right, we have I'm distracted. Yeah, I can see that. I'm not avoiding you. I just need more time. We also have I need you and I miss you. Nothing but drama. I'm scared shitless. We're going to get one more. Pile one's person. I forgive you. Huh. Okay. If there was any drama that happened between you guys, or if you feel like this person might be holding a grudge against you for something, this is specifically for those of you where you feel like maybe they are, okay? If you guys had a fight, if maybe some mean things were said and you played into that somehow, it's like your person is wanting you to know there's a very specific message. They're not holding any grudges against you. Whatever it is, like, you know, literally, they're like, I forgive you. Okay, and that might be where no regrets is popping up here for some reason, but at the bottom of the deck, it does say something about losing passion and losing interest, and we'll find out what's going on with that. There's quite a few energies here I'm feeling like need to be delved into more deeply. Let's find out what's going on with ashamed. Pile one's person, why are you feeling ashamed? Pile one's person, why are you feeling ashamed? Their energy is so closed off when it comes to like that, and that's what shame can do. Like, you're not, you know, when you're feeling ashamed about something, the instinct is to conceal it, to hide it, to make it to where nobody else, as much as possible, can see that that's happening. And even in your person's energy pile one, they're not wanting to reveal what it is that they've been doing that is, you know, that has them in this energy of feeling ashamed. I'm going to tap into their higher self. Pile one's higher self. Why is pile one's person's higher self? Pile one's person's higher self. Why is pile one's person feeling ashamed? Page of Cups in the reverse. Pisces energy coming through with that one. And then the Hermit is coming through as well, and that is Virgo energy. Tell me more about why pile one's person is feeling ashamed. Okay, tell me what's going on with the Page of Cups in the reverse. Leo energy coming through with the Sun. There's almost an energy here of your person feeling like they should be happy. They should be feeling happy. They should be feeling more confident, but they don't. And we're finding out, we're really getting deep into your person's patterning to see what's going on here. The Page of Cups in the reverse, what's going on with that? This feels like something tied to their childhood, almost. Emperor in the reverse. Okay, they're not being very responsible. And so there's a couple of different energies or messages coming through with the Emperor in the reverse. By the way, that is Aries energy. This almost feels like maybe their past is catching up with them, is what it feels like, okay? For some of you, they may feel like they're not where they want to be in life, or they're not like at the point where they're at right now in life, like they figured they would be farther along. Again, there's just an overall feeling of they feel stuck. There's a point in time where I feel like they're stuck, and they haven't been able to move past that. There's some unresolved, maybe some unresolved trauma for some of you. Your person has some unresolved trauma that they're needing to fix. But overall, like their 3D self is really having a difficult time with them just not being where they want to be in life. And they're taking something very personally about that. I'm hearing a lot of shoulda, coulda, woulda in your person's energy. They should have done this, but they, you know, they didn't. They did this instead. And it's like for some of them, I'm hearing that they squandered opportunities that they had. There's a lot of beating themselves up in their energy too. For some of them, I'm hearing like they didn't take things seriously. Yeah, there's just a lot of, now I'm hearing wasted opportunities. Yeah, there's a lot of wasted opportunities coming through. And they are feeling very bad about that. What's interesting here is we have like the Sun, which is an energy of passion, it's happiness, it's optimism. It's feeling, it can also talk about transparency, right? Which is kind of the antithesis of what's going on here with the shamed. Like this is your person almost wanting to bare their soul. They're wanting the confidence to be able to bare their soul, but there's shame and guilt and stuff that's keeping them like locked away And this could very well be, you know, this is their sentiment towards you in the connection. You know, the sun again can talk about wanting to feel so comfortable with somebody that you feel free, you feel liberated enough to allow the light to shine on you, right? But there's a lot of skeletons in your person's closet, pile one, that there's a lot that they're wanting to keep hidden because they're feeling ashamed, right? Okay, let's move on. Let's look at losing passion and losing interest, which is showing up at the back of the deck. It is back of the deck energy, so it's not the strongest. So let's find out what's going on with that. Oh, that's depression. Yeah. That's depression. It's not necessarily that they're losing passion and they're losing interest in you and in this connection. It's that they're losing passion and interest overall. And for those of you where, you know, if you haven't received some kind of an offer from this person, if offers have been withdrawn from the table, whatever the case may be, especially if there's no communication, this is kind of what it's like. This is shame. This shame over here is siphoning your person's energy. For a lot of you, your person is very, very, I was going to say depressed, but I just heard distressed. They're very distressed over something. Okay? Over where they're at in life, over where they're not at in life, stuff like that. What's no regrets in reference to? Tell me about no regrets over here. That came out earlier. Yeah, I'm feeling like that's tied to something. I don't know. Again, it may not be the strongest of energies. So if this is more on the specific side and this is not pertaining to you, just kind of hold on, okay? But for those of you where you are wondering whether or not your person is holding something against you, like a grudge, your person is saying that's not it. They don't regret ever meeting you. It's nothing like that, and they have actually forgiven you. But really the energy that's coming through with I forgive you, it may not even be something that warrants forgiveness. It's just your person coming through and saying they're not holding any grudges, okay? It's not that. And I feel like it might be tied to, you know, the fact that you haven't heard from this person, or they're not communicating, or they're withholding or withdrawing their energy from you in this connection. I even heard access. For some of you, your person withdrew access to them. Like your access to them has been withheld or withdrawn or something. And it's basically like it's not you, okay? They're not wanting you to take that personally. Your person is going through, and now we're back to general messages, right? It's like, it's not you, pile one, legitimately. It's like they're saying it's them. Okay, they're really going through something over here. This feels like, you know, again, it's like your person's past is coming back to haunt them. This may have been your person running away from really dealing with, you know, traumatic experiences in their life. Rather, like they ran away from those rather than really buckling down and facing their fears and stuff. And now it's like, what's that saying? Like, you know, the chickens come home to roost or something like that. It's kind of like, you know, it's that energy. Because we do have, it's like, I need you and I miss you. Your person is longing for your energy. They are missing you and they are needing you. But, you know, and for people like me where I can be in a very depressed state, and that might cause me to want to draw near to that special person in my life, right? And for those of you where you resonate with that, like that's how you are if you are going through some really dark times. There's a lot of people who, when they get like that, they want to draw near to the people that they hold near and dear to their heart. But not everybody is like that. There are people where they get in that state and it actually calls them to isolate, right? And that's exactly what's going on with your person. They're isolating right now. But again, there's just this overall energy, like their thoughts and feelings, pile one, is that it's not about you. You didn't do anything wrong, right? In fact, they're letting you know they're actually missing your energy and they're actually needing it to some capacity. but the need for you and the want of you is being overshadowed by your person's intense feelings of shame and guilt at this point in time. Okay, that may be very well what your person is being distracted by, but we are going to find out. Let's verify. Tell me more about I'm distracted. Why are you distracted? The Empress. Okay, so this may be on the specific side, okay? If your person has a baby mama, okay, and the Empress can represent many different female archetypes, but this is feminine energy, okay? So this could be your person's mom, all right? Literally, it could be the mother figure in their life, and or it could be, you know, the mother of their child or the parent of their child. Somebody could also be pregnant, okay? That's what they're being distracted by. Tell me more about the Empress. The Empress is Venus energy. That's Taurus and Libra. Tell me more about the Empress energy here, please. Clarify the Empress energy. Why is this Empress energy distracting you? Okay. Definitely causing some kind of confusion here. Pisces energy with the Seven of Cups again. And there's different messages coming through because I know there's a lot of different eyes on this. So for where you know that this Empress is not representing an actual person, Empress energy alone can talk about growth. It can talk about fertility. It can talk about expansion, right? Which is Jupiter energy coming through with that. So Pisces energy being represented or coming through again. Jupiter is also representing Sagittarius. And so this almost feels like your person is being distracted by wanting to open themselves up. They feel very restricted. And a lot of that is self-imposed, okay? So where your person, so for those of you where your person you know is not dealing with a third party, they don't have a baby mama, it has nothing to do with, like, you know, a parental figure in their life, specifically their mom or anything like that. This is your person trying to open up their energy, okay? But they're feeling very, yeah. And you know what? It's funny because Seven of Cups can also talk about being distracted. And so very much pointing back to this Empress energy here. Whoever or whatever that energy is, but for some of you, a lot of it too, where it's not representing an actual person. This is your person trying to figure out how are they going to increase, right, abundance in their life. How are they going to access abundance? There's a lot of confusion in your person's energy right now, as well as a lot of distraction. But let's see. Tell me more about this Empress energy here. Growth. There's definitely energies here for growth. And I do want to say, because your person is coming through in this energy of I need you and I miss you, that this is what their thoughts and feelings towards you, pile one. And so they are acknowledging that this energy, this Empress energy, whether it's just an energy overall or an actual person, this is where I was going to say their responsibility, but this is where their loyalty is at. It's like a sense of duty. But for a lot of you, it's coming through as a necessity. Whatever this energy is, your person is like, it's almost mandatory. Like, this is mandatory. Yes, they need you and they miss you. And this is where all their attention and focus is going, is this Empress energy, whether that's a person or just an energy overall. I will say over here, it says, I'm not avoiding you. I just need more time. It feels like what they're saying is they need more time to figure this energy over here out, this Empress energy, whether it's their experience with a person or their experience trying to manifest more increase or create more abundance in their life, right? And happiness. Your person has been in a very dark place for a while. They're trying to figure out how to get out of that. Let me find out what's going on with trust here. Okay, I'll come back to trust here in a minute. They're wanting me to speak more on this. Let's look at nothing but drama. What's nothing but drama? Okay, let me see. Tell me more about nothing but drama. They're not doing okay. We do have the Nine of Pentacles showing up in the reverse, okay? So this is not somebody that's thriving. This is not somebody that's doing okay on their own. Let me find out more. Okay, yeah, with the Emperor in the reverse. This feels for the majority of you tuning in, this doesn't feel like it's connected to any. This doesn't feel like this drama or what your person is being distracted by. It doesn't feel like it's tied to another person. And even if it is, what's coming through is like your person has. It's that thing like they made their bed and now they're having to lie in it. Okay. Whatever it is they're dealing with or distracted by, they'd rather not. Whether it's a person, whether it's an energy, even if it is your person just trying to figure out how. Okay, so they're feeling restricted. For some of you, they're feeling tied down and they're feeling trapped. For most of you, it feels like that's of your person's own making. Right? Again, it's their past coming back to haunt them. It's the chickens coming back to roost. And whatever it is that they're dealing with, for some reason, your person is allowing that to cause like a divide between the two of you. They're allowing that to be a reason and an excuse to, at this point in time, not have any contact, communication, or even connection with you at this point in time. Because they are seeing whatever it is, they're even for the pile one, your person is seeing themselves as nothing but drama. I mean, and there's a lot, especially with the Hermit energy here, there's a lot of self-awareness that your person, you know, they're very self-aware. They're like, I did this, right? Even if it has something to do with another person, if that drama, your person is like, that happened, you know, I'm having drama with that person because I'm drama, right? Your person is very much has come into a space of self-awareness. Like, of course, I'm having this nothing but drama energy in my life because I'm nothing but drama. That's what your person is seeing themselves, right? Yeah. Which is a first step, right? A first step to healing. Let's find out what I'm scared shitless is about. Tell me more about it. What are you scared shitless about, pile one's person? Direct message coming through, I should say a channeled message coming through is that they're scared shitless, that they're never going to be able to clear this up, that they're never going to be able to clear up their own energy, that they're never going to be able to, oh, okay. All right, here's another specific message coming through. All right, for some of you, let me see if this is tracking. The Empress energy is representing pile one. I just very strongly heard yes. And then we got the Five of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, for a lot of you, okay, your person is feeling almost distracted by your energy because they're seeing you as the Empress, which makes a lot of sense because they keep coming up as the Emperor in the reverse, right? They're supposed to be a perfect match to you, but they keep getting in their own way. Okay, yeah. So, I mean, that's going to resonate for many of you here, okay? And again, for the other storylines, you guys are already going to know about that. If the Empress is representing, like, you know, a mother of your child or something like that, you're going to already know that. For the rest of you where that wasn't tracking, Yes, it could also be an energy, but it could still represent a person in terms of like you. It could represent you. Like your person is really kind of down in the dumps, honestly, because they feel like they're not. I don't want to say that they feel like they're not measuring up, because your person is kind of seeing themselves like, okay, so I'm picking up on a thought process with your person, pile one, where they're saying, if I could just get my shit together, right? If I could just get my shit together, if I could get a rein on some of these very self-sabotage, drama-like tendencies, pile one and I could be perfect together. Like, they're clocking that, right? But what they're unable to really get a handle on is why. Why are they doing, why? Like, why why are they drama, right? And they're trying to get down to the bottom of it. That might be why we have trust and you deserve love over here, is because your person is almost like, especially with the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, it's like they don't necessarily see themselves as single. They're seeing themselves as, they're clocking that there's very soulmate energy here. They're definitely clocking a bond between the two of you. They're definitely noticing the potential of what they could have with you if only they right, could, I'm hearing spin the block. Okay, so for those of you where you and your person are not in contact, or not in communication, you haven't heard from them, they're telling me to tell you that they're going to spin the block again. Okay, this isn't a permanent disconnection here. They're just trying to figure some shit out. Okay, let's find out what's going on Scared Shitless. Tell me more about I'm Scared Shitless. Okay, yeah. The Fool. Okay, Aquarius and Aries energy coming through with the Fool. There's a leap of faith that your person knows that they're needing and wanting to take, okay? But there's something about that brand new path that they've never been on before that is really just kind of rattling their cage. And that's where the self-sabotage is coming from, okay? And I can see why somebody that is showing up as an Emperor in the reverse is very scared and very hesitant to take a leap of faith towards an Empress when they are still showing up as an Emperor in the reverse. Your person is very aware that if they were to try and take this leap of faith towards you right now, there'd be a lot of problems, okay? It's one of those situations where it's like the two of you are made for each other, right? But because there's a lot of unprocessed trauma, there's a lot of self-sabotage and self-limiting tendencies going on with your person right now, they can see themselves as like, yeah, we're a perfect match on an energetic level, right? But because I'm dealing with so much unprocessed pain and trauma and triggers and stuff like that, I'm just... I'm going to show up in this connection basically as a tyrant, somebody who's irresponsible. Even though at my core I'm a match for pile one, that's not how I'm showing up, right? Your person is very self-aware with that, with the being in the Hermit energy over here. Tell me about, okay, so why is the Fool, why is that scaring you so much, pile one's person? Let's see, is there anything beyond that? Yeah, I'm gonna clarify this and then clarify trust, and then we're gonna wrap up your guys' reading. While I'm getting these messages out, if you're getting from this reading what you came here for, take a minute, if you would, smash the like button for me. It's a wonderful way to show you appreciation, as well as energetically donate to the channel. Comment below, let me know that you picked this pile. Let me know how it's resonating. I love, what do they call it? The acclamation. I love affirmation. I love to know that it's resonating with you guys, okay? For those of you that love sharing tea, I love reading it, okay? And I try to engage back whenever I can. Become part of the family by hitting the subscribe button so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. Yeah, and then that notification bell too. Okay. Why is the Fool? Why is this Fool energy? Page of Wands. Yeah. Yeah. They're not. Your person knows, pile. Pile one, your person is very well aware that they need to grow up, right? They know what they're capable of. They know who they are at their core. And your person is also recognizing that they're not behaving that way. They're starting to kind of, I believe I can kind of feel a hint coming through in their energy, like they're kind of figuring out like why, right? But they're very new on this self-healing journey, very new. They're just at that point of starting to like realize like, oh, I'm the problem. The problem is me, right? Whereas they may have been coming from a standpoint of like, I'm a victim, right? Why is all of this bad shit happening to me? Your person has finally had, I'm hearing a string of epiphanies, but they're still at the very beginning of that journey. Like they finally had an aha moment like, oh, it's me, I'm the problem. And so now that they figured that out, it's like, okay, well, how can I fix the parts of me that are causing me to self-sabotage and, you know, not step into my power? How can I fix that, right? And your person is they're just starting. All right, they're just starting that journey. And so the reason why your person is scared at this point in time to take that leap of faith towards you is because they're very well aware. They're like, I'm just learning how to walk here, let alone fly. And so they're like, they'll do a lot of damage. And it really is coming from a space of like being very self-aware of their capabilities. They know, right? They know that they have the potential with a lot of practice and a lot of effort and a lot of focus to be the absolute best versions of themselves. They know that. But they also realize like they're kind of starting this journey out with, you know, some energetic and spiritual handicaps, if you will, right? Trauma, baggage, things like that, that they need to work through and they need to process, things that they've been running from for a very long time. Many of you since childhood, I'm picking up like the ages of like 9 to like early teen, maybe even preteen years, okay? It started there and stuff has compounded since, all right? But they are wanting you to know they never had any intentions and they don't have any intentions of this separation or this disconnection of that being permanent. But they're coming through in one of their messages to you, even though this isn't a messages reading, they are coming through and letting you know, pile one, they have every intention of spinning the block. They do want something more substantial with you. They can see it, right? They can at least see it, but they're being very honest and real and transparent with you, at least energetically coming through. If they were to take that leap of faith, and I feel like that, let me double check. Where's that leap of faith? Because I have a feeling what I feel that it's in relation to is taking a leap of faith towards something more committed with you, right? A leap of faith towards what? Leap of faith towards what? Okay. Yeah, because we have the world here, which is, you know, the end of one cycle and beginning. Yeah, okay. So, yes. And then we have the Two of Swords in the, this is them saying, literally, because in the tarot, right, in the major arcana, the very beginning of the Fool's journey is the Fool, and then the Fool, you know, the World is the very last card. It's the completion of that journey. And so this feels like your person stepping off one path that has not been working for them, right? And stepping onto a whole new path altogether. And with the Two of Swords in the reverse, that's like reverse, you know, allowing access. Yeah, this feels like them, like, what they're saying is like allowing access, allowing you access to them. They're scared shitless of that. Because your person is saying that if they allowed you access to them, if you saw them for who and what they really are right now, which they're feeling like whatever that is, they're ashamed of that. They're ashamed of who and what they are right now, right? they feel like that would bring like an end to your guys' connection. So the leap of faith that they're afraid of is really being vulnerable with you, really opening up to you, allowing you in and seeing them for who and what they really are right now. They're just not ready for that yet. They're ashamed of that. There's something very deep and hidden in there, you know, and when I say hidden, yeah, it could very well be hidden from you. But it's also, we're talking about nervous system, subconscious stuff, right? They're not comfortable. And this feels like an overall energy. Your person is just not comfortable sharing with you, even with themselves, but, you know, with those, even with those that are close to them, that they're scared. They might see, you know, feeling scared as being a weakness. And so there's a lot that your person is needing to heal, needing to go through, you know, and they are in that hermit energy. A lot of that self-reflection, that light, that, you know, really it's being guided right back to themselves. And I'm seeing it really hit them like in the heart space. That's where a lot of that healing energy is going towards. But there is a lot. Your person's saying that there's a lot that they have, that they're needing to unpack, and they are working on that. All right, let's look at trust. Tell me more about trust. Why is this here? They do trust you. Okay, yes, they do trust. They trust you. They know you're a good person, pile one. They know that. What's the Two of Wands in the reverse got to do with this, though? It's almost like they're not knowing what to do with that. See, your energy is coming through as being very pure, almost childlike and innocent, but not in an immature way, right? There's a lot of, yes, there's a lot of beauty, a lot of attraction, a lot of magnetism that your person feels towards you. And there's also, your person can feel the pureness coming through in your energy. I just heard in your body even. I'm telling you, your person is definitely picking up on, let me find out. What is that about? We got the King of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, this has nothing to do, your person is definitely picking up on your energy. Okay. And I feel like that's coming because your person is actually very sensitive in that way too. And they've been trying to almost cut that part of them off. Your person's very sensitive, very intuitive. They're also able to pick up on energies for a lot of you, pile one. Your person's able to do that. They've been very closed off to it because they've kind of been in this environment, I feel, where that wasn't okay. Being intuitive and being sensitive, and you know, it wasn't okay. You got to, you know, I'm hearing your person repeat back to me what they learned from what was being modeled to them growing up. And what they've been modeled is this sentiment of, you got to be tough, you know, head over heart. And I'm not saying that that's not bad, but there has to be a balance. But your person was taught to value logic and reasoning over what it is they're feeling and sensing. They've been taught growing up to discredit their intuitive knowings, to discredit sharing and expressing their feelings. That's kind of sad, because that took your person out of their energy. That's exactly what knocked them out of Emperor energy. That's why they're showing up in the Emperor in the reverse, because they've been taught to discredit really who they are at their core. Okay. But tell me more about trust. Why is this here in relation to pile one? The Two of Cups in the reverse. This almost is like, you know, trust. Even though you guys are going through some kind of a separation or a break in contact or communication or a break, it's happening for a reason. Your person is saying they're going to spin the block. They're going to reconnect. But right now, it's almost like this is having to happen. The Two of Cups in the reverse. This breakup, this separation, this disconnect is needing to happen because your person is trying to get their bearings. They're trying to reset. They're trying to go back to who they were before, they've been taught that who they were was the wrong person, right? Because they started off as an emperor, you know, even in childhood, right? They were born as an emperor energy, and then they were taught like, oh no, that's, you know, everything about you is wrong. And so you got to be this way. And, you know, people that teach other people how to do that they're coming from like false premises, right? And that's why your person is now showing up kind of as a false sense of like, it's not really who they are. I hope that makes sense. It's confusing, but I feel like it's coming through that way because that's exactly, it's like your person is starting to like rearrange the pieces to the puzzle, but they're in the, you know, so that they can finally, you know, put themselves back together again in the right way. Like, you know, they were born with the perfect, like everything was intact, right? But then the people that they grew up around and this is, you know, society and whatever, like was like, no, that's not okay. So it was like that took a piece out of the puzzle and kind of now their pieces are all rearranged. Like they're all there, right? I'm hearing there's a few pieces that might be missing, but you know, those can always be restored. But they're just now starting to be like, oh, okay, these pieces do go together. I just got to figure out where they fit. And that's kind of like where your person's at. I can see them at a table. They're like, oh, this puzzle does go together. It does actually fit, but they're just getting started getting those pieces back together. And right now, if they were to try to make something with you more committed, I'm hearing, and be more responsible, you know, in this connection and stuff, it would just be a disaster because they're just now starting to figure out, like, you know, how the pieces fit. Oh my gosh. Okay. I do want to know, and this is very specific, very specific. There's a song from the band Tool. It's called Schism. And I'm hearing that chorus where Maynard says, I know the pieces fit. Because I, you know, and that's basically what your person is saying. Like, okay, I see that, like, your person didn't even realize, like, they were all jumbled, right? Now they're just starting to, like, rearrange things where they're going to get a really very good, clear picture of who and what they are, okay? But they're just getting started, pile one. All right, you guys, I'm going to end the reading there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. I know this reading went over, but it is what it is, right? I just want to get the messages as they come out in their entirety, and I love you guys enough to do that. So, yeah, I will see you guys at your next Pick a Card Love reading. Bye, guys. Pile 2, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Michelle. We're doing another Pick a Card Love reading. We're tapping into your person's energy and channeling their true, honest thoughts and feelings towards you and the connection at this point in time. So just keep in mind, you guys, it's a general reading. Anything that resonates, take it, run with it. If something isn't resonating, just drop it, leave it behind for whomever it might resonate for. I do have personal readings available for those of you that would want me to tap exclusively into the energy of you and your person's connection to get you more guided, specific answers as they pertain to your connection with your person. All the booking details are in the description box below. I have a lot of readings available in the specific person category. Many of them are just $25 USD. So go check them out. Let's get some refresh and reset some of the energy here. Pile 2, you guys were drawn to the beautiful, I believe it's pronounced Girasol Rose Quartz. It's like gemmy rose quartz, right? We'll see what's going on here. All right, we're going to be tapping into Pile 2's person on Pile 2's mind at this point in time. Let's see what your person's overall mood is before I turn these cards over. Pile 2's person, what's your overall mood? Your overall mood towards Pile 2. Accepted. Okay, feeling loved, feeling accepted. We'll see what that has to do with, how that ties into how they feel towards you. We got playfulness. All right, this is to recapture romance. Allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. Let's see, we have, and then we got flirt. We also have the 8 of Cups here. and we'll see how all of this is playing in. The Eight of Cups can talk about walking away from something or someone or a situation. You know, a lot of things could talk about anything that feels like it's, you know, not emotionally fulfilling, but we'll find out. Because your overall energy your person has towards you, pile two, you know, playfulness here. This is their very flirty energy towards you. There's also something like your person saying that they feel free to be themselves around you. Like, you know that you accept them, you love them for who they are. Light, playful, and flirty. But let's find out what's going on, because we do have the Eight of Cups here. This doesn't necessarily feel like they would walk, like this is them walking away from you in the connection, but you know, I've been surprised before, so let's find out. Let's find out. Pile two's person. Your thoughts and feelings towards pile two, please. Your thoughts and feelings towards pile two. What are your honest, raw, truthful thoughts and feelings towards pile two? I'm just having fun here, nothing serious. We're gonna get 5 more. Still holding a grudge. I'm not, you know what though, I'm not picking up that this is connected towards you though. We'll find out. I mean, it still could be. This could also be coming through an energy of your person kind of having a guard up. Okay, now whether or not that guard is there because it's something that maybe you did, or if it's something that someone else did and they're just kind of projecting that onto you into this connection. Let's get some more. I'm telling you the truth. I'm distracted. What's interesting is with that message, I almost feel like your person might have, they might be like, what do they call that? Neurospicy. So they could have like ADD or ADHD, or, you know, they might be on the autism spectrum, or, you know, Asperger's or something. There's something neurospicy coming through with this here. With I'm distracted. Like they have a very short attention span. Let's get a couple more. Your true honest thoughts and feelings towards pile two. It's just a game to me. This did kind of want to come out in the side where it says, I'm sorry for making you look and feel like a fool, but it readjusted itself so that this part came out. Let's get one more, and I'll tell you what, it was the right thing to do. Your person has a very difficult time kind of feeling or holding themselves accountable. And at the bottom of the deck says, I thought I could do this, but I just can't. Yeah, okay. And that is kind of the vibe that I was picking up, you know, with everything here. Like at first glance, it's like your person's overall sentiment towards you, pile two, literally, it's like there's no hard feelings here. Okay, no hard feelings, because they do have a really good time with you. They really enjoy your company. But there's something... there's just no longevity coming through in their energy towards you and towards the connection. Like, it's almost taking on that vibe like I'm only here for a good time, not a long time. It's that kind of a thing. That's the energy that, and with, I'm telling you the truth, your person is almost coming through like you should know this. Your person's coming through in an energy pile too, where, and I just saw a blue jay. and this is the first time I've seen a blue jay in a while. I don't know if maybe the color blue is significant to you guys, or if a blue jay itself, you know, might be a totem for your whatever. I'm just calling that out because I'm seeing it during your guys' reading. But there's an energy of your person, almost like, you know, pile 2 should know this. Like, you know, they're coming through in this energy of like, I've never communicated anything or shown up in a way to have pile 2 believe that this connection wasn't anything other than what it was. And the message that I'm getting, or the sense that I'm getting from that, is like this connection was anything other than just something casual, right? Because your person's coming through like, it's just a game to me. I'm just having fun here. There's nothing serious. Yeah, I have a good time with you, pile 2. But it's like, it's all fun and games, though. So this 8 of Cups energy is coming through as your person, like, you know, even though they felt all these good vibes with you, they had a good time, it's like they dipped out, right? So they withdrew their energy, their attention, their focus. It's like, you know, and then at the bottom of the deck, we have, I thought I could do this, but I just can't. There may have been a time where your person was contemplating, considering. There was a time where your person was possibly considering maybe having, and I'll check, I'll see what that's in reference to, because it's not, you know, it's not, if that is the vibe, like where your person did kind of have a point in time where they were considering taking the connection with you out of something very unstable, very inconsistent, into something more, you know, reliable, you know, consistent and stuff like that, more committed. They didn't consider it for long. Okay, just keeping it real. But they did consider it, at least for a moment, but ultimately they came to the conclusion that it wasn't something that they could do. Okay, that's why that's showing up at the bottom of the deck. It's not the strongest of energies, because your person didn't consider it for long. Let's see why, because I know pile 2 wants to know. Yeah, they just were not ready to take that leap of faith. Why? Leap of faith towards what? Death. Okay. Oh, yeah. Hold on, you guys. Okay, so we got the Fool, so that's Aries and Aquarius energy. We also have Death, so that's Scorpio energy, and then we have the Page of Cups coming out. For me, I get Piscean energy from that. This feels like taking a leap of faith, or starting something, a whole brand new, like, because the Fool is a whole brand new path, right? The Fool is like the unknown, and when something's unknown, it's because you've never gone there before. So, you know, you've never done that. It's a whole new experience. And it can also be like not going down a path. You know, it may have been a path that you've gone down before, but it's been a very long time. You know, so long, it's like, I don't know if I even know how to do that anymore. And so that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. Your person did consider, at least for a moment in time, this path with you. But they were like, I don't, you know, there's something that they would have needed. There's like either a death and or a transformation, definitely a rebirth that would have needed to happen. But in order for a rebirth or a transformation to occur, there also needs to be some endings and some deaths, right? So let's find out what's going on with that. What would have needed? Tell me more about this death here. Ah, okay. They weren't ready. They weren't ready to give up any kind of competition with the Five of Wands in the reverse. For those of you where, you know, that resonates, there's kind of a playboy, playgirl energy coming through, kind of. This just feels like what we have here, we have the Emperor, so that's Aries energy coming out again with the Four of Cups and the Nine of Wands. They're not ready for that yet. That might be where this, you know, accepted too. It's like your person is understanding and realizing, like, you know, you accepted them for who they are. You saw them for who they are, and you loved them, and you hung out with them anyway. They're recognizing that. For some of you, they're even like giving you your flowers for that. And that's why I'm feeling like the still holding a grudge. I don't feel like that is tied to you. That might be an overall general energy. Your person just might have a grudge when it comes to love relationships in general, right? They might just hold a grudge. It could be towards, you know, like if your person is a male and they're into women, right? They might just have or be having a grudge towards just women in general or something like that. It's carrying that kind of energy, love, like romantic relationships, committed romantic relationships, like they're holding a grudge against those, right? A grudge against marriage, maybe even a grudge against cohabitation, stuff like that. Like, yeah, I'm not, you know, they considered it for a second, but it was like they're not ready because they're clocking, they're, you know, for them to be able to do that, they're like, okay, I got to be responsible. Like the brand new path that they're heading to go down is one of becoming like an emperor, showing up in that emperor energy, taking care, being the head of household, taking care of, you know, your environment and the people that are in it, and being responsible and being reliable and blah, 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 blah. And your person's like, I ain't ready for all of that yet. They're not completely ruling it out, but at this point in time, they're like, no. There's a lot of resistance to that. Okay. Let's see. Let's look, though. Let's find out what's still holding a grudge. King of Wands in the reverse. Okay, this could be very direct, all right? So they might be holding a grudge against a very masculine energy in their life. Could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag. It could also be, let's see. They're not feeling very confident about something, though. Yeah, there we go. The Ace of Cups in the reverse. With the Page of Swords in the reverse. They're holding a grudge against basically romantic relationships, marriage, cohabitation, all that stuff in general. Because, you know, your person was done wrong in the past, or they've seen a lot done wrong to other people in the past. It's almost like they're seeing romantic relationships, romantic committed relationships as like a waste of time. For some of you, your person is seeing a lot of it play out. They may not even be, you know, yeah, they're seeing a lot of it play out online. And this it doesn't have to necessarily be anything that they are personally involved in. They're just seeing other people go through it. And so they're receiving a lot of confirmation that they're doing the right thing. And actually that's, yeah, that even shows right there. It was the right thing to do. They're receiving a lot of confirmation in different forms that they're doing the right thing, basically by staying single and or staying unattached. So why is the King of Wands showing up in the reverse? What's the King of Wands in the reverse? Clarify that, please. Yeah, the Knight of Cups. Okay, they're not interested in offering anybody anything. And a lot of that is just they have no confidence in it. They have no confidence in love. It's drama. And they want no part of it. That's why they're saying, I'm just having fun here and nothing serious. Because the minute they start, your person is saying the minute that I start taking something or someone serious, that's when all hell breaks loose, right? And so they're just like, nah, I'd rather not. Okay, what's I'm telling you the truth? What was that? Justice in the reverse. Okay. There's some specific messages coming through. Your person is saying, for some of them, they're saying they are very drama. Like your person may have at least either they told you or they allowed you to see some maybe like lower qualities of themselves because they want to keep it real. They want to show you, you know, aspects of who they really are. They're like, this is, you know, okay, so some very specific messages that are coming through. Your person is, you know, they're saying like they told you the truth about maybe somebody that they were married to in the past that they are divorced from. This feels very karmic in nature though, like they're telling you the truth about maybe some of the ways that they have been a very karmic partner. But I'm seeing some very specific scenarios, like maybe, you know, you've seen them be mean to people or just have a very mean, conflicting energy, just very abrasive. For some, okay, wow. Trigger warning for those of you where this specific word might, you know, stir up some unwanted feelings. But 3, 2, 1, abusive, okay? They have actually shown you, whether it was to you or maybe to other people, maybe even pets, how they have a tendency, they can be very abusive, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, and stuff like that. And what's coming through, like, yeah, they're like that and there's no excuse. It is what it is, right? And they allowed you to see those parts of themselves almost as a way to be like, to push you away. Like, you don't want this anyway, right? Basically what's coming through with I'm telling you the truth is your person, like I showed you who I am, you know, and there is a level of some accountability coming through in your person's energy pile too. I'm not going to say there's a whole lot of it, but there was almost like no shame. I can't even really say that there's no shame there. Yeah, because we do have a shame showing up at the back of the deck. And so it's not that they're unashamed, like they did that unashamed, right? There is a part of them that actually does not like that about themselves, being abusive, showing up in ways that maybe might be karmic. If not abusive, then definitely abrasive, okay? Your person's coming through as being able to get easily agitated, easily annoyed, stuff like that. And your person they're not proud of that, right? There is kind of an energy that your person's coming through pile 2 is like, I am who I am. I'm not saying that they don't want to change, but it might be one of those sentiments where your person's coming through like you can't teach an old dog new tricks, right? And so to them, it's almost like, you know, they're kind of settling in this realization or kind of resigning themselves to like, it's just better for them to not take romantic relationships seriously because maybe they can be a bit of a tyrant. I haven't seen that energy show up yet, but we do have the, you know, justice in reverse, and that is your person showing up in very karmic ways. So they can show up to other people as heavily triggering other people's shadows. Okay, so, you know, just some personality traits that are coming through as mean, unapologetic, even if they feel sorry, because I'm not saying that they don't, it's very difficult for them to actually apologize, right? There might be a bit of victim mentality with them, okay? Very karmic. Okay, tell me about I'm distracted. So Libra energy coming through with that. Yeah, okay. Tell me I'm distracted. Ooh, yeah, okay. Look at that with the 3 of Swords. Heartbreak. What is this in reference to? You know, heartbreak, pain. Page of Swords in the reverse. That one, okay, that came out with still holding a grudge. That Page of Swords in the reverse. Okay, the Page of Swords, pages, you know, court cards in general can represent, you know, periods in people's lives. It can represent other people. Let me double check this. Okay, there's a couple of energies coming through. For some of you, they're still holding a grudge from something that may have happened to them in childhood. Okay, preteens, elementary, middle school age, you know, they may have been bullied. And it could be by the opposite sex or whatever, romantic interest, right? It could be bullying overall, but I feel like your person has a specific grudge against, like, being bullied in romantic relationships, being taken advantage of, but it could also just be bullying in general, okay? What is the Page of Swords? Tell me more about the Page of Swords in reverse energy. This came out twice. This pain is related to that, the Page of Swords in reverse energy. It's also the energy that your person is still holding a grudge against, or why your person's holding a grudge. Tell me more about the Page of Swords in reverse here, please. Wow, okay. Yeah, heavy on the bullying. Heavy on feeling like being taken advantage of. There is some healing that's attempting to happen, or that there is kind of a balancing out wanting to happen with that. But that requires people to face those feelings and that baggage and that trauma, you know, head on, face to face with it, allowing yourself to really feel it and stuff like that. And, you know, it can be very tough for people to do who have become accustomed to just, you know, ignoring it, acting like it's not there, running away from it, stuff like that, or stuffing it down, numbing it out. The Hanged Man also, that's Pisces energy, so that Page of Swords could represent a Pisces energy. It could represent a Sagittarius energy. But the Temperance there. Anything else to add for, tell us more about the Nine of Cups in the reverse. That's Pisces energy, but it can also represent Sagittarius as well because of Jupiter influence here. Pisces, yeah, Pisces. This could be an actual person because we have Pisces and Sagittarius coming out again. Just with this one card with the Nine of Cups, but it's showing up in the reverse. Okay, so, I mean, overall, you know, your person is still feeling a lot of pain associated with, you know, it could be a friend group when they were growing up, could be, you know, just feeling ridiculed and isolated, ridiculed, you know, from people that they may have had some romantic interests in. Bullying, heavy on the bullying though, okay? And so that is kind of why your person is showing up in that very karmic energy, because it's like they were being bullied, and so their way of dealing with it was they turned into the bully themselves. So they just want, you know, and they're still holding a grudge. They haven't let go of that. You haven't let go of that. What was it was the right thing to do? What's that all about? Okay, Ace of Cups in the reverse. For a lot of you, they walked away from this connection. And for a lot of you, they walked away before things really got established. Tell me more about the Eight of Cups here in the reverse. The Queen of Cups, yep. They stopped it before it could even start. And you guys, I will say that they did, yeah, and then we got the Knight of Cups in the reverse at the bottom of the deck. Because this is where it was going to end up, and this is how your person feels. I could sense this, like, and that's why they took a minute. They even considered, you know, because I feel like a Two of Swords energy on this Ace of Cups in the reverse here. They blocked this from developing, and that's why they walked away, because they could feel and sense that this is where it was going to end up. Queen of Cups, they were going to end up in love. They were going to end up, you know, feeling compassionate and opening up and feeling vulnerable and sensitive and, you know, wanting soft and warming up. And there's something that your person has against warming up and feeling soft, right? When you're in love with someone, whether you're male, female, masculine, feminine, however you might identify and resonate with, you know, and you have a real bond and a connection with somebody, there's an opening up and a softening that happens, you know, because we all have inner masculine and feminine energies. And while, you know, we do tend to be more dominant in one energy than the other, both are still there. And so when, you know, your person has this thing about, they're hardened, they're all hard, right? Rock, stone. And there's definitely something going on with their heart space where it's like, stay out, right? They have kind of that energy, like nobody's getting in here in their heart, right? And they could sense like that was what was going to happen in this connection. And they even considered it for just for a little bit. They considered opening up and letting you in, and considered, you know, maybe taking things a next step or a next level with you. And very quickly, like, nope, retreated, cut that off. We're not going there. Right. And there we have the Knight of Cups in the reverse at the bottom of the deck. It's like, they were considering putting an offer on the table, but as soon as they considered it, they were like, no, right? No. Yeah. And they feel like that was the right thing to do. There's almost like there's no remorse and no regrets coming through in your person's energy about that. They're just like, no, that was the right thing to do. The right thing to do is to walk away. Tell me more about the Eight of Cups in the reverse, and then we'll close your guys' reading. Yeah, they're doing things on their own with the Three of Pentacles in the reverse. They're lone wolf in it. And that's where they feel comfortable, pile two. They feel comfortable in that energy. It has nothing to do, I'm not saying they're not entertaining third parties. I did kind of sense a little bit in that energy. And the reason why I feel like it might be coming through kind of in a very dim energy is because your person is like, that's not why they walked away. It wasn't because of that. It was, they did feel like and see and know that there was potential here, which that they could fall in love. Like they know that had they continued spending more time with you and seeing you every day and you know, taking things serious with you, they know they would have fell, I'm hearing, head over heels in love with you. They know that. And they're like, there's a very deep-seated part of them. I was like, no, we're not going that way. We're not doing that. Remember, we're not doing that. Cut it off, walk away. You know, and there's not anything in their energy, at least in this point in time, that is, you know, pulling them back to you into this connection, because they feel like it was the right thing to do. All right, you guys, so that was your reading. If it resonated, do me a favor, make sure you take a moment, if you would, smash the like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. Comment below, let me know that you picked this pile, let me know how it resonated. If you want to become part of the family, simply smash the subscribe button. It's a wonderful way to, well, yeah, we already talked about that. Yeah, and then don't forget the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. All right, you guys, and I will see you guys at your next Pick a Card Love reading. Bye. Pile 3, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Michelle. We're doing another Pick a Card Love reading. We are tapping into your person's energy, and we're channeling their honest, true thoughts and feelings towards you at this point in time, okay? So I aim to do these readings about maybe once a week, because energies, you know, people's thoughts and feelings can change and shift on a dime. So, you know, whatever comes through today, good or bad, neutral, whatever the case may be, just, you know it can shift and change. All right. I just wanted to let you guys know that. yeah, just keep in mind it's a general reading, so whatever resonates, take it, run with it. If something isn't resonating, if it's not lining up with what you know and just feel to be true, just drop that, leave it behind for someone else. You can even see if maybe there's another pile in this reading that calls out to you, okay? Yeah, so I do have personal readings available if you want something more customized, more tuned in and tapped into you and your person's connection. Just check the description box below for all the booking details. I have many readings available in the specific person category. Many of them are just $25 USD. Go check them out, you guys. So pile 3, you guys were drawn to the Celestite. And I believe this is the very first time I've ever had Celestite on this channel. So we'll see if maybe that has anything to do with it. Like, this is the very first time we ever had Celestite on this channel, right? I believe so. There might be some significance to that. We'll find out. Okay, so before I turn those over and get your person's overall energy, let's find out what their general mood is towards you. Pile 3's person, what's your general mood, your overall mood towards pile 3 at this time? We had 2 come out. Okay. We have grateful. I mean, grateful came out twice. So they're super thankful. We got a feminine one in here and then a masculine one here. We'll see what's going on with that. We got grateful twice. All right, we'll put that right here. All right, let's see. We got forgiving and learning. It says, as you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment. We also have strength. So Leo energy coming through with that. We'll see how that fits into their overall general energies towards you guys. We also have, there's forgiveness again. Interesting. So there's kind of an energy of your person, like, you know, either they're putting the past behind and they might be moving on, but they're coming through in an overall sense, like forgiving and even forgetting, right? Whatever may have happened between the two of you. This could also maybe be the energies that they're wanting to experience with you, but we're talking about their overall general energy towards you and towards the connection. It's almost like there's no hard feelings, right? No bad blood. You know, it's all, what are they, it's all water under the bridge or something like that. Yeah. Because I never really thought about it before, but that old saying, like, it's all water under the bridge now, it's like that bridge is now free to cross again. And so, you know, we'll find out how strength here is factoring into this energy, because that can go multiple different ways. For a lot of you, this could just be your person being very self-disciplined, very self-controlled when it comes to their connection with you. And that could be experienced from you maybe in a lot of different ways. This could be just your person maybe holding back them, you know, from reaching out to you. We'll see, okay? But with grateful overall, like your person, regardless of what is happening between the two of you or has happened in the past, your person, I am seeing, like, they're saying that bridge is still there. There's still an energy to, like, you know, cross, like, because they're saying it's all water under the bridge. You know, for them, as far as they're concerned, that bridge is still intact, right? There still is the ability. It's not even to bridge the gap. The bridge is fully intact. You can cross it if you want to. And maybe that's why the strength here is being shown up. Like your person is, they're not necessarily maybe the ones wanting to come across that bridge or initiate, you know, contact or whatever the case may be, but they're saying they're open to it, right? But we'll see. Yeah, Celestite can also talk about communication. And the fact that it's so clear, it's clear, you know, it's a form of quartz, but just this piece in it of itself, it is fairly clear in a lot of areas. It's like clear communication, right? So first, there is a message coming through pile 3. Your person is open. They are open to communication, but I almost feel like they're kind of holding themselves back from being the one to take the first step or send the first text or something like that. Let's find out. And we do have sad showing up at the back of the deck. And so there is a little bit of melancholy here. We'll see if it shows up, you know, in their overall thoughts and feelings. But your person is saying, pile 3, that there's no hard feelings on their end. It's all water under the bridge for them, okay? So for those of you where maybe you've been wanting to reach out, maybe you've been wanting to extend some kind of communication, they're saying like they're open to receiving it, okay? Whatever that might be. We have forgiving and learning, and so your person is kind of coming through and saying like that they've learned from a lot of the mistakes that were made in their, you know, experience with you. And that might be why we do have strength coming through in the energy of like a lot of self-control and self-discipline and stuff like that. That may not have been an energy that they've been in before, but they are trying to exercise more self-control and discipline, specifically maybe when it comes to you into this connection. For many of you, I'm just picking up, you're not hearing from this person, and that's why. We'll see what's going on with their pile 3's person. What's going on with your thoughts and feelings towards pile 3 at this time? I'm hearing 2 more shuffles. So we got this one and then one more. Pile 3's person. Okay. This come out more favoring the side that says I want this more than you know, but we also have I don't know what I want. And so there's something going on with this energy here. Let's see what the rest of the messages say. Pile 3's person, your thoughts and feelings. I'm hearing they want it more than you know. Like, so they do want this, right? And we'll clarify what quote unquote this is, but it's like they do want something with you. They do want a connection with you more than you know, but there's still some unknown factors. They're kind of iffy on that, right? Like if they could wave a magic wand and have everything perfect and, you know, have everything work out in the end and whatever, right? They would choose that, whatever this is with you. They want that with you, right? But they don't, there's an unknown factor here, and we'll find out what it is. It's not unknown to your person. It's unknown to me as a reader at this point in time. Maybe you even know what it is, but there's something that's still like, even though they want this with you is really badly, there's still something going on where your person's like, I don't know though. That's maybe where the strength, because that strength is kind of having like, that self-discipline is like, I don't know if I should go there. Like, yes, the bridge is open, but I don't know if I should cross it yet. It's one of those things. Okay, we'll find out. What else? Pile 3's person. Interesting. Okay, we have I don't worry about the possibility of losing you. Let's see. Yeah, this is like them coming. Okay, so your person has come, they've made peace with whatever is going to be in this connection. What they're saying is they don't necessarily want to lose you. They don't necessarily want to lose a connection with you. And they've made peace with the possibility that they are losing you, losing the connection. They've made peace with it. They're not worried about it. Okay? They're not saying it's what they want, but should it happen, they've made peace with that. Okay, if it, you know, you see what I'm saying? Let's keep going. Let me get all of these out and then we'll get on with your reading. Let's see, pile 3's person, give me more. What are your honest, real thoughts and feelings towards pile 3 in the connection? I'm just having fun here, nothing serious. Wound mates. There was a lot. This connection produced a lot of pain for both you and your person. Now, I'm not saying that the two of you aren't soulmates. I'm not saying that at all. But when there is a lot of unhealed pain, when there is a lot of trauma and or emotional baggage that hasn't been dealt with, that's what relationships do, right? Until those wounds are healed, it doesn't matter who we're going to be with. That relationship is going to trigger that stuff, especially if we're running from it, right? And so that's exactly what this connection did. It triggered a lot of unprocessed trauma, unrecognized wounding, and stuff like that. That's where I feel like your person is making it really iffy in terms of like, yes, I want this with pile 3 more than I could even put into words. And your person, what they're saying is, I don't know if I want to deal with any more of pile 3's pain. It's like that, right? Even if your person might be the one, like they might be knowing that the way they showed up, you know, triggered a lot of your pain, caused a lot of your pain, even added more to the wounding. There's just an energy, and it's true. If that wound wasn't there, then what they were doing or what they were saying wouldn't have been triggering to you. And so there is kind of this recognition with your person. It's like the two of you can't heal together because you just keep triggering and touching on each other's wounds. And so, you know, your person is saying that bridge is open, but it's best that we not cross it until and unless we know that those wounds have been healed. Otherwise, we're going to do nothing but just touch them and trigger them. And you see what I'm saying? If those wounds weren't healed, then there wouldn't be anything to trigger. I hope that makes sense. Let's get 2 more. Your thoughts and feelings, honest thoughts and feelings towards pile 3. And you know, they are saying they don't want to do that. They don't want to hurt you anymore, and they don't want you to hurt them. You know, I'm hearing there's no love lost here. There's still love there. Love isn't lost. And it's like they're tired of the pain that made up the majority of this connection, this relationship, this experience. And they're saying they know that you are too, pile 3. Give me 2 more. I forgive you. Yeah, this forgiveness is all through this. Your person is saying they're not holding a grudge against you anymore. There's no love lost here. They still love you. They still want to honor you and respect you. And if they're keeping their distance from you, they're doing it for a reason, because they don't know. It's like, if I cross that bridge, is pile 3 still holding on to a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, a lot of emotional baggage, so that if I say the wrong thing, or maybe even it's even the right thing but in the wrong tone of voice, it's going to trigger pile 3 somehow. They don't want to cause you any more pain, and they don't want you causing them any more pain. They want peace is what they want, right? And so that's why they're withholding themselves from you and from this connection at this time. That's why they haven't crossed that bridge. And that's why they're not crossing that bridge. Give me 1 more. Pile 3's person, your thoughts and feelings towards pile 3, please. Your honest thoughts and feelings. We got 2 more. Okay. All right. We have, I only have eyes for you showing up at the back of the deck. Okay. It's there, but it's not the strongest of energies. All right. We also have I refuse to fall in love and catch feelings, period. But we also have no one compares to you. Let me see, because these two came out together. I refuse to fall in love and catch feelings, period, and no one compares to you. And then we also have I only have eyes for you. Even though it's not the strongest of energies and it's showing up at the bottom of the deck, it's still there, okay? So that's not your person isn't saying that they're not open to moving on and being with someone else. And maybe for some of you, your person is with someone else. Let me see. Tell me what's going on with I refuse to fall in love and catch feelings coming out with no one compares to you. Let me understand what's going on here. You taught them a lot of lessons. There's something very, as karmic as this person was for you, pile 3, you were also very karmic with them. Both of you learned a lot, some heavy, deep, intense lessons from each other. And yeah, I mean, the energies are there. Your person is saying, like, you know, there's a quality to your guys' bond and the connection and the passion, the intensity that they felt with you that they, you know, they're not, and this almost feels like your person saying, I'm not going to experience with anybody else. Like, they're almost like declaring that, like, I'm never going to feel like this again with anyone else. It feels both ways. Like, they're almost saying, like, the level of intensity that I've had with pile 3, it's going both ways. Like, they're seeing it as good and as bad. Like, when it was good, it was really good between the two of you, but when it was bad, it was really bad. And so that's another thing that they've made peace with. Like, they're like, okay, I'm never going to feel as intense and as impassioned towards anybody else the way that I felt for pile 3. And they're seeing that as good and bad. I hope that makes sense. There's almost this energy of like, I will never, I'm picking up, it's coming through in both energies. Like, they're almost promising themselves, like, well, I'm never doing that again. I'm never going to feel for anyone like that again. But there's also sadness coming through in that, right? There's a good and a bad that your person is taking that in. Like, they're seeing the pros and cons. Like, I'll never have that again. And they're seeing the pros and cons of that, you know. You know, your person is almost coming through in their energy towards you right now. It's like they're not willing to make something more of their connection with you at this point in time. They're not willing to take it seriously with you because the experience of having done that, from your person's perspective and from their experience, like, it caused nothing but drama. And that can be, you know, that's how passion is. You can be either passionately seductive and turned on, or you can be passionately turned off, right? That passion is just, it's intense emotion. It's whatever emotion you have and strengthening it, right? And so whenever you guys were on the same page, things were off the chart, exciting and, man, fun and just whatever. But when they were bad, they were really bad. And your person's almost like, yeah, you know, it was exhilarating, it was blissful, it was euphoric. But there was another side to that spectrum. And so your person is like, they might be, you know, if they are in another connection or in other connections, they're perfectly fine with a lighter version or even a lukewarm version because it's more comfortable that way. Yeah, they're not going to experience the bliss and the euphoria and all the other good stuff, but they're fine with that because there's also not the destruction on the other side of that spectrum. So they're kind of playing in the kiddie pool and they're fine with that, right? They're fine with that. It's like they're saying that they're just having fun here with you and they're not willing to go into the shallow, they're not willing to go, oh yeah. Oh, okay. See, your person's kind of at a, I don't know what to call it, because your person knows what it is like to go to the deep end with you, and they know how exhilarating that is. what I was getting ready to say was that they're not willing to go to the deep end with you, or anyone else for that matter. But what was coming out was that your person's not willing to go to the shallow end. See, this is kind of like that impasse, right? They know how exhilarating it is to go to that point with you on the positive end, and it's almost like, you know, why go why go to a 5-star steak restaurant and order a hot dog when you know that you could have the best steak on the planet? And they see you like that, right? They're like, why would I have anything else with pile 3 if I know I could have the best? And so it's almost like they don't even want to cross that bridge, because it's like, again, it's that spectrum. They know, right, that if they cross that bridge and they dip their toe into that bliss and euphoria and all the good stuff, they know that, you know, they know what the other end of that is. And because wound mates, right? And your person has taken some kind of accountability here. They are saying that they do realize, like, maybe, you know, they know they're not the safest space, or they haven't been the safest space for you. They know that. And so, you know, they are kind of taking some responsibility, and like, I don't even want to cross that bridge with pile 3, because they know they're going to get themselves in some very hot water, in, you know, in good and in bad ways. Yeah. So, I mean, with no one compares to you, that's both a compliment to you, but it's also a flaw, because there's a spectrum here, right? You know, yeah, no one compares to the bliss and the euphoria that they feel with you, right? And there is a lot of sexual energy coming through in that energy. And on the flip side, they're saying no one compares to the way that you can piss me off and throw me out of my energy and stress me out and give me anxiety. Like, no one else. It's almost like you have the ability and the power, pile 3, to manipulate their energy, maybe in ways that no one else can. Like, your person is now, they're fine playing in the kiddie pool with people that are, you know what I mean? It's like, they're fine. Anything to add for these energies here? I refuse to fall in love and catch feelings, and no one compares to you. Anything to add to that? Yeah, 6 of Cups in the reverse, and with the Chariot, they don't care that whoever they're messing with or spending time with, they don't care if they're soulmates or not. They don't care if they have that tight, intense, passionate connection or soul, but they don't care. In fact, they almost prefer that now. That's what they're moving forward with, is 6 of Cups in reverse energy. Not tight, not soul bonded, not intense, not passionate. They're fine. That they prefer that, is almost what it feels like. Let's see. Tell me more about I only have eyes for you, showing up at the back of the deck. Yeah. Okay. 8 of Pentacles in the upright position with the Ace of Swords in the reverse. It's almost like they're working really hard not to be in that energy. They have to work really hard to be able to focus on someone and something else, and not you. Their focus and their attention feels like it's naturally being drawn and pulled towards you, pile 3. And they are working really hard and spending a lot of energy trying to pull their attention and their energy away from you. Pull their focus away from you and onto other things, even maybe other connections. So there's a couple of things. You know, this could be your person working really hard to pull their attention off of you in this connection onto work, and even onto someone else that they might be with or other people that they're trying to entertain. It's taking a lot. They're spending a lot of their personal energy pulling their attention and their focus and their energy off and away from you. Wow. So that's going to translate, pile. Yeah, because you make them really happy with the Four of Swords at the back of the deck. Not Four of Swords, sorry. Four of Wands at the back of the deck. You are their, I was going to say, and I still say, like, you are their home. But what I just heard them say is you are their true north. You are their true north. And I'm not even really sure what that means. And so maybe look it up, right? What true north means. But when I think about the North Star, and that was the star that people way back in the day, like when they were trying to get home, that's where they kept their focus on, was the North Star to get back home. And the Four of Wands does talk about home, right? And so your person does feel at a very deep soul level, that you are their home. You're their true north. You are their North Star. It's like whenever they do have their attention and focus towards you, right? That's when they feel most at home. That's when they feel most connected. But because of, some karmic wounding and stuff like that, it hasn't been the happily ever after that either one of you is seeking. And that is because they've had soul level wounding that needed to be healed. You had soul level wounding that needed to be healed. And, I don't want to, the Four of Wands in traditional tarot, we see it here too, 1111, right? That this is for a lot of people that believe in twin flame energy. That's a card of twin flames, right? And then there is no, you can't outdo a twin flame connection. For people that don't believe in twin flame energy, when that does come through in a reading, that just lets me know that there's more of this energy of no one compares to you. I only have eyes for you. And it's not because I want to only have eyes for you. I cannot not think about you 24/7. I'm feeling magnetized towards you even against my will, right? Your person is spending a lot of energy, pile 3, a lot of their own personal energy. And what I was getting ready to say earlier is that that's going to be your person translating into having a really difficult time focusing on work, maybe even being very, very tired, feeling very fatigued, not having really, because they're spending so much of their personal energy trying to pull their attention and focus off of you in this connection, just spending money and doing that. That's what it's like. They're spending so much money just trying to, they don't have anything, they don't have a lot left for their business or for that other connection. And so just the act of them trying to ignore you and avoid you in this connection is causing their business and maybe other connections in their life to fail, because they're not, it's almost like they're not supposed to be doing that. They're feeling naturally guided and pulled towards you. And because they are doing everything in their power to not and to refocus on other things, it's actually harming them. The things that they're trying to focus on instead of you in the connection, those things are actually failing because they don't have enough energy and resources to give to it, because all of their energy and resource is going towards trying to keep themselves and their attention and whatever, their energy away from focusing on you. I hope that makes sense. All right. Pile 3, I'm going to end the reading here. If it resonated, do me a favor. Make sure you smash the like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. Comment below. Let me know what pile you picked. Let me know how this resonated. You can become part of the family by hitting the subscribe button. Don't forget about the notification bell. That's so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. All right, you guys, and I will see you guys at your next pick a card love reading. Bye.